All right, friends, we are ecstatic to have in studio with us for the very first time from Hatch Realty, the wonderful, the debonair, and the always well-dressed Connor Johnson. Good morning, Connor.
Good morning, Eric.
Connor, first time on radio with me, yeah?
Very much so. I'm nervous. There's a big crowd in front of me, but I think we're going to get through this.
Okay, you hold your head up high. We can do this together.
All right, I believe.
Yeah. If you can dream it, you can do it.
Deal.
I don't know where we're going with this. Connor, I've known you for a number of years before real estate ever entered into your life. How is that? How do you and I go way back?
Boy, great question.
Do you remember?
I remember.
Okay,
yes.
Good. I thought you
I'm
were
not
just
stalling for time. No, Eric, you were a wonderfully engaged individual in the community, and I was a wee college guy trying to get engaged in the community, and our paths often seemed to cross when it was time to set up a service project in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and you're always there to help, and that's how we kind of got to meet and get to know each other through all sorts of involvements.
You were involved with some Pay It Forward tours, right? Some STLF Students Today Leaders Forever activities.
Correct.
And so you came and partnered with us at First Lutheran Church when I worked there.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. We hosted people out of town.
I think that was the first time our paths crossed. And then after I worked at First Lutheran Church, I was working at the University Lutheran Center on NDSU's campus. Mm-hmm. And you would walk by like every day.
That's right.
And they have these great windows that you can people watch all day long. And I'd watch you go to and fro from class. So bravo for going to class.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I fooled you very well.
Yeah,
yes.
Well done. You were really just going to hang out in the union and play billiards.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you play billiards?
Occasionally.
Okay, so
not as much as I should have.
Now we're lying. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what did you do after college? After you graduated?
Right after I graduated, I worked for my fraternity on a national scale. I traveled for Delta Tau Delta, and I visited college campuses and assessed how the undergraduates there were doing. Did a lot of troubleshooting, and then helped them succeed in anything academic-wise, finances, any needs they had. I was there to help them, and traveled the country for a year nonstop doing that.
You were a consultant.
Correct.
You were an advisor. You brought great value to students around the country.
Yep.
And then you said, you know what? I don't want to travel for the rest of my life, right?
Agreed.
Why real estate?
Real estate is something that I viewed as an opportunity to help people, especially first-time home buyers. That's an exciting part in someone's life, and I want to help serve people in their life and help them reach happiness. And boy, that's their biggest investment. And so I saw that as an opportunity to help people.
And you're a North Dakota native, but you're from Minot, correct?
Correct.
And then you came to NDSU, and now we have you here forever.
Agreed.
In fact,
I'm in this radio box forever and always.
That's right. Listening audience, again, we have Connor Johnson of Hatch Realty in studio with us. And Connor is, if you've ever seen The Office, he is our Jim and married Pam in our office. So we've had Rachel Johnson on air with us a few times, and that is his blushing bride. And so they are the in-office romance, and they're probably the most adorable couple you'll ever see.
She is pretty neat.
A raving endorsement from Connor Johnson here for his wife, Rachel. Connor, you two had the chance to buy your first house. Yes, you were a realtor, but you had some emotion. You had things fall apart. You had things come together. What was it like buying your first house?
Boy, it was a roller coaster of emotions. It's exciting when you start out looking at all these potential homes, not just a house, but a home where you're going to make memories. And then you find the pros and the cons, and sometimes you think you find a house and you lose out on it, which can be tough when you imagine your family being in there, and you got to keep looking. It is a roller coaster of emotions without a doubt.
You guys bought a house, and then the inspection was sour.
Correct. There's just too many things that came back, and it was well beyond what we were willing to spend money on. So we backed out.
And the sellers weren't willing to budge on price, right?
Correct.
So what I love about this and why it's important that we bring this up, folks, is that I think that Connor had the ability to go from sympathy to empathy in this, going from being somebody who works with home buyers to now being a home buyer himself. And feeling that frustration and the angst and the agony that can come with buying a home. And then you found a gem of a gem up in North Fargo.
Absolutely.
And so you guys have gone through, and I'm going to ask some very telling questions, but it's all public knowledge. What did you guys buy your house for? Because this tells a great story.
How much we got it for?
Yeah.
We got it for $174.
$174. And you have is it 3-bedroom, 2-bath? Is that right?
3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-stall. There is a space in the basement where it could be a 4th bedroom.
Needs to be egress,
Needs
right?
to be egressed, yep.
And so that's pretty common. And you bought your house less than 2 years ago.
Correct. Not even a year ago.
Oh, wow. It's even okay. I was in your house and you guys pulled up carpet, you painted, you refinished hardwood floors, right?
Yep.
Anything else that I'm missing?
So far, no.
Okay. Get to work.
Will do. Yep.
But with your house now, I think your house is worth $210 or $220. Because you bought right, because you were willing to do some work yourself, and because you knew the angles in order to win. And that's what I want to transition to here, Connor. We're going to take a break here and come back in just a minute. But I want to help people who need an angle to win find out some insider tips and tricks from Connor. And then we have a great opportunity for you coming up tomorrow and Tuesday for you to have an angle to win if you're a home buyer. So stick around. Head to livefargomoorhead.com. While you're at it, take a look at the homes on today's market. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio. As always, I'm your host, Erik Hatch. And in studio with us, we still have from Hatch Realty, our favorite, most handsome and beardly buyer's agent, Connor Johnson, resident of Minot, North Dakota, and now North Fargo. Connor, tell us, how long have you been in real estate now?
I've been in real estate for over 2 years, I believe.
Okay,
about
yeah.
2.5.
Seasoned veteran. Yeah,
Yep.
I think about 2.5.
Yeah.
And I say seasoned veteran actually intentionally because the average realtor sells how many homes a year? Do you know?
10 to 12?
Yeah, exactly. 10 to 12 homes. And you've sold, boy, you're approaching close to 100 homes in the last 2.5 years. So you have, I believe, 8 to 12 years of experience right in there.
It's kind of like dog years, but for real estate.
I think so.
You know?
Yeah, I think you have it figured out perfectly. Connor, we talked before the break about how we can get an advantage because you and your wife, Rachel, got an advantage because you bought rights, you did some work, and you won. But we have now a home buyer class coming up on Monday and Tuesday. That's tomorrow and Tuesday. Folks, go to livefargomoorhead.com if you want to sign up for this class. It's full free. You're going to get dinner as well, and it's a 2-day class that's going to educate you a whole lot. Connor, what can people expect to hear at this homebuyer class?
Boy, they can expect to hear just about everything. A lot of first-time home buyers probably don't know what the process even looks like. They couldn't answer the question, how long does it take to actually close on a house? What does the timeline look like? What do they need to actually be able to close on the house as far as finances? What does that look like? How do you make sure the house is the right fit for you? How do you make sure there's no projects that you're not willing to do? There's a lot to learn, and you're going to learn everything in that class.
I want to cover a couple of myths. We're debunking myths all day long. It's very exciting. Debunk is the word of the day.
Myth debunkers.
That's right. Yeah, it's our new TV show.
Yep.
Nobody's going to watch.
Not at all.
So we're going to have these myths debunked. And the first one I want to debunk is this, is when I hire a realtor, I have to pay for that realtor. Is that true?
Correct.
It's true that the you're not debunking my myth at all. I think I need to better phrase this. If I'm hiring you as my buyer agent, do I pay your commission?
You do not.
No. Okay.
Nope.
How do you get paid as a buyer agent?
Strictly commission from the sellers of the house.
Okay. So if I'm hiring you, I don't have to come up with a way to pay you.
Correct.
Right? Super easy way for you. And so if you're listening right now and you're thinking, I want to buy a house, but I can't afford it. First of all, you don't pay for the commissions. That's built into the sales price, and that comes from the seller traditionally. Now, there's always unique situations like a for sale by owner or sometime when they're not paying what the market bears for us to be compensated. So we'd have those detailed conversations with you. But what I want people to hear clearly is that it doesn't cost you money traditionally out of your pocket to hire a realtor. Now, the second thing is that I need to have 20% down in order to purchase a house. Is that true, Connor?
20% down?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Oh, myth debunked again.
Yes, debunking.
We did it again. How much money does somebody need down on a house?
Well, it depends on what type of financing they get, but it could be as low as 3.5% or 5%. That's FHA versus conventional financing.
And what if somebody's USDA?
They're USDA?
Yeah, or if they're a veteran.
If they're a veteran, they could have a lot more covered for them, Erik.
Yeah, $0 down. That's $0. You out there right now, if you're listening, there's an opportunity for you to buy a house and to have it cost you almost nothing out of pocket. I mean, it's actually pretty crazy to think that you can own a home and it costs you almost nothing out of pocket. But each situation's unique. It's all like a snowflake out there, Connor. And so we need to talk to you to make sure that we understand your situation. Again, those of you tuning in, we have Connor Johnson of Hatch Realty, and we're talking about our home buyer class that's coming up tomorrow and Tuesday. This Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be 5:30 till 9 at Hatch Realty. You're going to get free supper both nights, and we'd love for you to attend. So, Connor, when people attend this class, we're going to teach them that it costs them little to nothing at times to buy a home.
Right.
We're going to talk to them about the process. How long does an average home buyer look for homes until they actually get the one that they want?
10 to 12 weeks about?
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
You pay attention to some things that I say.
Occasionally, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
way to suck up right now. So think about this process, right? If it's going to take you 10 to 12 weeks to find the house and to get the offer accepted, if right now it's the middle of October, essentially you're not going to find the place until Christmas, New Year's, and then how long does it take to actually close on the house, Connor?
You're looking at the most, well, I'd say at least 60 days is what you want to plan for.
So if I start looking for a house today, if I'm average, and some people may take longer, some people may find the first one. I think about dating, right? Some of you date one person, and that's the one that you marry, and some of you date a lot of people, and that's the one. Our producer just held up 5. He's dated 5 people. He's actually telling us we're 5 minutes into the segment, but he held up 5 as soon as I said, "How many people have you dated?" So it was really great. But some people date an awful lot of people before they make their decision. And it's the same with home buying, right?
Absolutely.
In fact, at your wedding, your pastor, Luke Broder at Hope Lutheran, had the most fabulous real estate sermon that I've ever heard. And he talked about how you both dated some fixer-uppers before.
Yep. Very true.
It was quite charming. And so if you're going to look for a home today, on average, you're not going to find the home and get it accepted until about Christmas. You're not even going to move in until Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. Like, you're 4 to 6 months out if you start looking right now. So, Connor, if somebody wants to start looking right now, what's the best thing that they can do? How can they set themselves up for success?
Great question. What you want to do is pretty much study for the quiz as opposed to showing up and just taking it that day. And what that means is sitting down with an agent and getting all these questions asked before you're right there in front of the house that's right for you months from now. Get yourself in front of a lender and get pre-approved right away before you get into any houses. Know you're good for it before you say, I want to chase this house. And in their time it takes you to get a lender lined up, someone else picks it up and you lose out.
Yeah,
not ideal.
In this market, homes move pretty fast,
Yes.
right? And you have to be prepared. You have to do your homework, and you have to, as Connor said, study for the quiz before you actually get to the classroom. And you need to be well prepared. The best way for you to be well prepared, ladies and gentlemen, is come to our home buyer class tomorrow and Tuesday. But we want you to sign up and register so that we have food for you, so that we have materials for you. So go to our website right now at livefargomoorhead.com. Sign up for our class. It's really easy, really simple to do. This Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have the class. Connor will be there. I'll be there. You'll get a chance to eat some food, hang out with some great people, and learn about this home buying process. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a 10th-time home buyer, we want to give you some tips and tricks so that, like Connor and his wife Rachel, you can make some serious money on your investment and you can avoid all those headaches and hassles. So Connor, thanks so much for being in studio with us. You were delightful and charming.
It was fun.
Appreciate it. And if you want to get in contact with Connor as well, head to livefargomoorhead.com.